So in Orlando, we straight. So we got an average defense. We're in the bottom of the league at the long ball line. We're at the bottom of 10 in the league in overall offense. We're at the bottom of the league in points. Bottom 10 in the league in points. We're one of the worst. Actually, we're not one of the worst. I'm not going to say that. We're an average rim protecting team. We're an average rebounding team. But we straight, though. We good. We don't need to do nothing. We good?
Yeah, that mids.
Okay. All right. Then we're going to stick with that.
Mids, yeah.
Okay. All right. So we're going to stick with that. Okay. I just thought that was interesting considering what the expectation was for the Orlando Magic and how I felt about Paolo before the season started. It looks like he's been going the other way in terms of the jump shot. I thought it would be better this year. I mean, they're actively leaving him open for wide open looks at the long ball line and even in the mid range. And he's getting downhill with some of the best of them in the league this year. I'm not going to argue that point. But their rim protection, I never really liked what I saw from them. I always thought they could have done better at the 5 spot, but they didn't. I mean, to be honest with you, Ron, when we talked about Zubac yesterday, I'm like, Orlando, how come you didn't call up the Clippers if Zubac was available? Why wouldn't you call him up? If Zubac was available, call him up and ask them for Zubac. I don't understand how they just handed him over to Indiana. Now, I think that would have been really good for these guys. So
handed them over. I don't think they handed them over.
They go.
I'm about to say they got a deal. Yeah. I'm about to say
I don't think the Clippers were even trying to trade Zoo for real. They just go giving a deal they couldn't refuse.
I'm saying for Zubac, I looked at that trade like 8 times. Like, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Zubac puts up numbers, but all this for Zubac and Kobe. It must have been for Kobe Brown. Something about Kobe Brown I don't know about. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Kobe Brown got a lot of value. But what rim protectors were available? That's what I would look at. They don't have a lot of their picks.
In Chicago. Nick Richards is in Chicago.
You know what? They probably could have got a Trace Jackson deal out of him. Second rounder for Nick Richards, maybe. Probably not though. I'm not mad at it. Genuinely, they did their big trade this past offseason. That was their big trade. I don't think they had the facilities to make a deadline move that would have fixed their needs. They probably made calls. I don't doubt that they made calls.
Yep.
But they probably ended up in the Pat Riley situation. Man, y'all really want me to give up a lot of stuff, but I'm looking around the league. A lot of these other teams aren't giving up much to get these players. I'm good.
So to be honest with you, Damo, and you a Charlotte guy, I would have checked your temperature on Kalkbrenner, see how y'all feel about him. I would have called up and asked about him to see where we are, see where you guys are with him. Because you know how I feel about him. I think he's starting big in the league. I do. Young guy. I think he can be a really good rim protector, great finisher around the rim, does big man things. And I mean, I feel like we get into the end of the line with what they got in Orlando in terms of their front line. I would have definitely called up Charlotte and checked their temperature on Kalkbrenner.
See for Franz Wagner.
I'm about to say they was going to ask you for, at the bare minimum, a Zubac deal. And who you giving up? Who's the first player you would think to give up in Orlando right now?
For Kalkbrenner,
just a big to fix their issues in general. It could be Kalkbrenner, but who's the first player you're gonna give up?
I'm not a big fan. What's the big guy's name in Orlando? They're starting 5 man.
Wendell?
I am not a big fan of Carter. I'm just not.
Neither the other teams.
Yeah, obviously not. So it's clear that I don't want him. You probably don't want him either, but maybe I could sell him to you because I'm just not a big fan of him. And Jonathan Isaac, I mean, I think I got the best of him in terms of quality. I think I've gotten his best years. So, maybe I can offload him for 2 or something like that. But it just seems like it seems like they just stood pat. Is it because, they got some money coming up? Is it because they got to pay these guys? I mean, they already paid Paolo. They already paid France. And they already paid Suggs. He's on the books for 150. So I'm trying to figure out what Orlando is doing. Are they comfortable just being okay? Because that's what it sounds like to me.
One, I'm pretty sure they are comfortable being okay because they were bad for a really long time. So they're selling tickets, they're selling merch. This is the business of basketball, and they're in better business now than they were 10 years ago. So I do think they're okay with where they're at as a business, but obviously for trying to win, you need more. Yeah. But I'm pretty sure they tried to dangle Wendell and Jonathan Isaac in front of a lot of people. That wasn't going to work. So, I mean, at that point, I'm not mad at them taking this approach because the last thing I would want is a team that, the fan base knows and wants you to be competitive. So they want to move to be competitive and you go and get Luke Kennard.
You dudes, you and Mars with the Luke Kennard stuff. I think Luke Kennard is good, yo. I do, man. I think
I've watched Luke Kennard his whole career, his entire career. The boy can shoot when he decides to shoot. Other than that, other than shooting when he decides to shoot, and again, I'm just talking as a Laker fan.
Sure.
The one thing I've been saying we need is guard defense. We just need more guards to be able to defend, or more people to be able to defend, and also are competent on offense. They don't got to be the greatest offensive player. We definitely don't need people. I'm hearing Cam Thomas' name being thrown out there. Don't need that at all. But yeah, Luke Kennard is not the. When I was thinking, hey, get Gabe Vincent out of here, I thought it was for a player that wouldn't make me as mad as Gabe Vincent made me. Guess what? We got Merle. For those of you who don't know, that's his middle name. That's Luke Kennard's middle name, Merle.
But wait
That's
a minute,
how long I've been
Damo.
watching him.
Okay, so
I'm not happy about it.
Here's the thing, Damo. I got a distributor like Luka. I got a playmaker like Luka. I got a playmaker like James. Okay, who's stretching the defense? Jake LaRavia? Who am I more comfortable with stretching the defense? Mars keeps telling me he only shoots when he's open. He doesn't shoot. He doesn't shoot when he's got a hand in his face, which, I mean, I don't know how true that is, but what I am thinking is I got a guy who can stretch the defense. He will get in the gaps, and he will get a tip, right? He will do something like that. What I'm looking for, because the guard defense thing in terms of the Lakers, I mean, I watched the game last night. I mean, Vando's actually looking really good on defense. So did Marcus Smart. Looked really good on defense. I don't think that that's that much of an issue if you're just trying to win. Like winning an NBA championship, I think that's a little bit much. However, Damo, I do need a guy who can stretch the defense. And I think Luke Kennard, with Luka on the floor, with James on the floor, with Austin Reeves on the floor, I think he gives you another guy who can knock down an open shot, which you need.
That's fair, but just doing a simple count, there are more guys on this team who can stretch the floor right now than can play defense. And when our best three players, in my opinion, are players who are lackluster on defense, the last thing I want to add is more lackluster players on defense. It's already bad enough we got a Luka and Austin Reeves backcourt that is awful defensively. You're not getting nothing done. You're right. Marcus Smart and Vando, they're playing great defense. What about when they're not on the court? Because there is a lot of time with them not being on the court.
Sure.
What happens then? That's all I'm saying. But we don't listen. We do not have to harp on that BS trade. There were so many other great trades, so many other great moves. I personally do want to figure out what was in the water when the Pacers picked up the phone and said, we'll give you Benedict Mathurin. We'll basically overpay for Zubac out of nowhere. I didn't even know he was on the radar for a lot of teams, or I didn't know he was available. That was crazy. Am I tripping? Can somebody please check my temperature? Was that not a lot for Zubac, in my opinion?
It looked like the
I
demolition.
don't think they overpaid for him.
I don't either, Ron.
I think that was a good move by them. I don't know
That
about
pick turns into the fifth pick in the draft for the Clippers.
Even if they overpaid a little bit, I think that was a good move to go get him for the Pacers, especially for next year when Tyrese comes back. But like Mar said, the Clippers got a good pick out of it. I think Benedict Mathurin was a good pickup for them too. But I like it for both teams. I like it more for the Clippers. I mean, I like it more for the Pacers though.
Definitely like the move for the Pacers. I like the pickup for the Pacers. I do like Zubac for them. Zubac is a good big. It's just, initially I thought you would be able to get him for a little bit less. I didn't know you had to give up that much to get him.
I feel like the Pacers think that they are a lot closer than we do. Like we're getting Zubac for what they paid for him. I mean, sure, this draft looks like one of the better drafts than in the past, but they really not tripping on that pick like that. Because I think that they think, well, what they got coming back is if they were, they wouldn't even offer a top 5 or top 4 unprotected. That means that from 5 to 9 is unprotected. So I don't think they tripping on that pick as much as they would if otherwise they wouldn't have offered that. No way. I think that they're looking at
but they protected themselves though. Like it's like we have 4 generational picks. If one of those happens to come to us, we protected ourselves. If not, we gave y'all a good pick. But just last year, just a few months ago, we was in the NBA Finals.
Yeah.
Now we get a center who I think is better than Miles Turner. Definitely on that same tier, around the same range. And so it's just like we were just there just a second ago. Like, yes, chill. They absolutely believe in themselves. We got our all-star point guard coming back. Like, yeah, we ready to rock again. We still got Pascal Siakam. We ready to go.
Yeah, they think they're gonna be right back in the middle of it. Yep. They think they're gonna, and they're not tripping on that draft pick as much as I would be, because I feel like this is Ron. I feel like this is one of them drafts where like Paul Pierce at 10, like that could happen. This one of them drafts.
Chill, but they
Good thing they're protected at 10. Good thing they're protected at 10 too.
Yes, they are from 5 to 9.
Like
but I think this is
they
one of those
literally
drafts.
have 5 options, which I mean, based on what it's going to be, like it's a good chance that they could get that 5. But at the same time, like they have a good shot at getting a number 4 pick. Or
so wait, how does that pick work out? Somebody explain it to me.
It's 1 through 4 protected.
Indiana. 5 through 9 it goes to the Clippers. Anything else it goes to Indiana. But if the pick ends up going to Indiana, the Clippers ends up getting the Pacers 2031 pick unprotected, which is also a risk because if Halliburton comes back and he's not Halliburton, you have a chance that you guys might stink in the future.
So this pick has to land between.
It's a lot of years though, Miles. We could clean that. Like we got 6
But
we got
right now, that's a 50. It's a 50-50 chance of happening.
Yeah.
It's a 50-50 chance of happening. But there's no number 1 pick coming to the Clippers. There's no number 1 pick going to the Clippers. Unfortunately, for
I don't like that.
But
I mean, I like
this draft is like.
I'm about to say, if you like this draft class, if you like this draft class,
I like the draft class. I don't like the little ping pong balls.
Oh yeah, that's the rigged game.
I mean, yeah, if you still believe in the ping pong balls, that's on you. The NBA gonna decide who gets that pick.
That's a fact.
Based on some trees being planted. I don't know if they want to help the Clippers. I
already told you.
I'm going to believe in the integrity of the NBA.
It's the panel. Religion get built on cam. Where the check throw smoke and the host go ham. You ain't never seen hoops out here did raw. Every take got weight, every night we drop. This that barbershop. Courtside, worldwide tone. Welcome to the only show that really feel like numbers jumping like the score.